8 countries where gasoline is cheaper than water. Venezuela. Cheaper than something as simple as a bottle of water, a liter of gasoline basically costs next to nothing in the oil-producing Venezuela. The cheapest gasoline in the world happens to be priced at 2 cents per liter. However, not many people can take much advantage of it. Estimates suggest that only 145 people out of 1,000 actually own a car in Venezuela. This is partly because the country doesn't exactly have the infrastructure that's required to untap its massive reserves of oil. Iran. 1/5 of the world's reserves of crude oil are in Iran, which possesses a vast oil resource. The incredibly low price of just 6 cents per liter of petrol is therefore not surprising. More than 12 million gallons of petrol, enough to fill about 300,000 passenger cars, are imported into Iran each day, according to official statistics. Waste and inefficiency are also caused by cheap energy. Despite using almost half the amount of energy, Turkey, which has a comparable population size to Iran, has a GDP that is 2.5 times higher. Angola. This country used to have a fuel price of 37 cents per liter, it currently has a fuel price of $0.362, making it one of the few African economies that is effectively alleviating energy difficulties. The government of Angola provides subsidies for fuel and does not add on any taxes to the price at the pump. In this case, the government does not subsidize the cost of fuel, instead, a number of taxes are applied to the price paid at the pump. Libya. Currently, a gallon of fuel in Libya will set you back just 12 cents. Libya's oil infrastructure sustained significant damage during last year's uprising against the Gaddafi government. Numerous oil fields were mined. Severe fighting between Gaddafi forces and rival rebels took place at ports, and Ras Lanuf, the largest refinery in the nation, was shut down. By the summer of 2012, the government had planned to increase production from the present 1.265 million barrels per day to the pre-conflict levels of roughly 1.6 million barrels per day. The increase in output and the political stability of the nation may help control the price of oil globally. Algeria. In January 2022, the price of gasoline in Algeria was approximately 46 Algerian dinars per liter, which equated to approximately $0.33 per liter. A liter of diesel fuel cost around 29 Algerian dinars, or $0.21, whereas a liter of liquefied petroleum gas, LPG, costs about 9 Algerian dinars or $0.064. Algeria, an OPEC member, has Africa's third largest proven oil reserves, trailing only Libya and Nigeria. In 2010, it was the continent's fourth largest producer, trailing only Nigeria, Angola, and Libya. Because of the high quality of Algerian oil and its low sulfur content, the European Union relies on the North African country to meet its environmental sulfur regulations in fuel. Kuwait. A nation with a large oil reserve whose exports of fuel help to raise its GDP, the Kuwaitis spend $1.30 for a gallon of petrol. One of OPEC's leading oil producers and exporters, Kuwait possesses the 6th largest global oil reserves. Half of Kuwait's GDP and 95% of its state earnings come from oil exports. By 2020, the Kuwait Petroleum Corporation wanted to boost its daily oil production capacity to 4 million barrels. Domestic oil consumption in Kuwait is extremely low. The country spent $2,800 per person on fossil fuel subsidies, which was the most in the world. Egypt. Egypt comes in with fuel that costs $1.41 per gallon. Although Egypt is the largest oil refiner in Africa and a major producer of crude oil, a minor amount of petroleum is still needed to meet domestic demand because of the country's growing economy. Production was at 736,000 bpd in 2010, down 0.6% from the year before, and has been declining, albeit gradually. An important part of Egypt's economy also comes from the Suez Canal's revenues, which serves as the primary oil transit route from the Persian Gulf. Qatar. Qatar is a member of OPEC, the largest supplier of liquefied natural gas, and was the 16th largest crude oil exporter in the world in 2009. A booming economy has caused Qatar's own oil consumption to more than treble since 2000. With an estimated $102,700 GDP per person in 2011, Qatar has the second highest GDP in the world. Half of Qatar's GDP is made up of oil and gas earnings, which is also why fuel costs 24 cents per litre.